Workplace stress is an increasingly important concept because it is becoming quite consistent in jobs and businesses. Stress is a reaction that happens to the human body when met with challenges in specific situations. Everyone faces challenges every day with fluctuating amounts of intensity. When stress is high in the workplace, productivity and interpersonal relationships can suffer. Stress comes from stressors that are related to demand versus resources. Demand is the responsibilities, pressures, or obligations that are expected for someone to complete. Resources are what we have in our control to resolve the demands. When there are adequate resources to complete our demands, stress is reduced. Likewise, if we do not have sufficient resources to meet our demands, there is increased stress. Not all stress is bad. Some stress can provide the right amount of push to meet difficult deadlines or perform daunting tasks. In the workplace, the more motivated and empowered employee, the more they can meet challenges with higher stressors. There are specific factors that can be the leading causes of workplace stress. Lack of job security can be a huge stressor. A primary reason for this is because a job tends to be a factor in people's abilities to obtain their basic needs for survival. Managers tend to put stress on their staff to increase productivity, or worse, some try to leverage termination to do such. This is a terrible concept to use and leads to high stress. Managers should always be coaches and ensure employees have everything they need to perform before pushing them. High workloads can be a challenge that some empowered employees rise to meet, but when the amount becomes excessive, even these individuals can become stressed. For some, a current market strategy has been to consolidate roles so that one person is doing a job that many used to do. This can be useful in some instances, but if there are limited resources or tight deadlines, people will feel overwhelmed. In Freeborough's organizational development class, he mentions successful work relationships are one of the leading reasons for employees staying with an organization. As mentioned with interpersonal relationships, almost every company and job involves some sort of interpersonal interaction. Many organizations do not use these interactions to their advantage by cultivating workplace relationships, and the inability to communicate is a major stressor. As the opposite of empowerment, giving employees minimal responsibilities can cause stress as much as giving them too many. Workers should have a role that meets their skills. When a skilled employee is met with monotonous or pedantic tasks, they can become bored or frustrated easily. Those with high knowledge, skills, and abilities should be challenged and placed effectively. As mentioned previously also, skills and resources must be provided for an employee when they are given a task. If someone is given a task without proper training, they can feel incompetent, which leads to stress and frustration. This should be carefully considered because feelings of incompetence can also lead to depression. If there is a task without proper resources and information, it can be the same as setting someone up to fail, essentially demotivating them. Consequences of stress with all of the stress factors can have various consequences depending on how the person deals with it. Psychological aspects refer to the happenings in the body. A person can experience metabolism changes, increased heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure, and headaches due to constant stressors. On a more severe note, constant bouts of stress may even lead to a heart attack. Psychological aspects affect one's state of mind. This can lead to tension, anxiety, irritability, boredom, or procrastination, and are just as important as physical signs. Behavior aspects can relate to moods, habits, and are most closely related to the workplace. For the workplace, there can be reduced productivity, increased absences, and even turnover. For the individual, they can experience changes in eating habits, increased smoking or drinking of alcohol, and sleeping disorders. Job burnout is one of the ultimate consequences of stress. These employees no longer have any interest in being at their company or doing their job. They experience emotional exhaustion and reduced achievement, and it is most commonly seen in jobs that deal with people. The end result of stress is the production of unmotivated, unhappy, and unfulfilled employees. These workers are more likely to get physically ill or use time off because they do not want to be there or need mental health days. Again, Brown provides information stating job stress costs U.S. industry in absenteeism, diminished productivity, employee turnover, medical costs, and legal and insurance fees. Study estimated that between 70 and 90% of employee hospital visits were linked to stress, and healthcare costs were nearly 50% greater for workers reporting high levels of stress in comparison to low-rate workers. These are a few of my recommendations for the company to use as techniques to reduce stress in the workplace. These are some of the approaches individuals can take on their own to reduce stress. These can be used by anyone at any time. Physical exercise like yoga, jogging, swimming, or sports. Relaxation techniques like breathing and meditation. Having a social support system where worries and stresses can be voiced, and so can concerns to close friends, family members, or individuals. A primary concept to use in the workplace or even in everyday activities is a time-based management system. The main principle of this, as described by Robinson Judge in Essentials of Organizational Behavior, is to make daily lists of activities to be accomplished. Then prioritize these activities by importance and urgency. Schedule activities according to the priorities set. Then know your daily cycle and handle the most demanding parts of the job when you are most alert and productive. Avoid any electronic distractions like frequently checking email, your phone, or social media that can reduce your efficiency or attention. The organization itself can also take certain actions to ensure the reduction of stress in their employees. The organization can make sure that those who are hired fit within the organization's culture and the job they are placed in, and it meets their skills. Proper training should be provided to give all employees the skills to do the tasks asked of them. An employee should be empowered to give them more fulfillment and meaning in their work. The organization can also provide employees with access to a wellness program. This program can consist of fitness opportunities like gyms or classes. Nutrition aids can guide employees to healthy eating habits, and programs to help workers quit smoking can greatly reduce many health risks. This can include memberships like low-cost local facilities such as a YMCA or recreational center. Brown reveals that evidence to date shows a strong positive relationship between fit employees and increased productivity, higher morale, reduced absenteeism, less turnover, fewer work accidents, and reduced healthcare costs to the employee. In studies, few employees used the wellness programs, but those who did found them helpful and experienced results. In the end, these are my recommendations for how the company should empower their employees, enhance interpersonal communication, and reduce stress in order to increase the productivity of the workers and effectiveness of the organization. The company should use the tools for empowerment provided. This includes providing resources and tools for employees to successfully complete tasks, and managers and leaders should be authentic with their interactions to establish trust and honesty. In order to establish effective interpersonal communication, the company should use the Johari window concept to increase disclosure and feedback among organizational members. They need to establish a sense of trust and respect among the members, and promote self-awareness of one's behaviors and how they affect others. To reduce stress, the company should encourage individuals to use stress relief tactics in their daily lives. Workshops and manager training can be provided to increase the awareness of these methods and how to use them productively. And access to wellness programs can be provided to employees to aid them in their stress-free journey. Thank you very much.